Hi everyone, welcome back to Card Collectanea. This is number 19 in my series, and if I don't keep going back and redoing ones I've already done, I should finish here fairly soon. But number 19 features one of my oldest cartridges, one of the ones that came with my Cricut, and that's Plantin School Book. I like the lettering on this, and I like the few basic things that they have here, and I come back to this one quite often for the basic shapes, particularly the circle. But today I'm going to use a little different shape from Plantin School Book, and I am going with something that is a little spin-off from a card that Mary over at Cards TV had done. And this, I'm making a masculine birthday card today. So here we go. I'm starting with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Just take an 8 1/2 piece of 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock and cut it in half, or in this case I just trimmed a piece of 12 by 12. This is from a DCWV cardstock stack. It's Brights, and this is a sort of an aqua color. It's a very pretty color. And so here I'm ready to go with my card base. I'm going to use it in a portrait style up and down here. And to that I'm going to add, first of all, an off-white matte, which is just 3/16 smaller than the card itself, and that would make it 4 1/16 by 5 5/16. And then on top of that I'm going to add this very pretty sort of it's got that aqua color in it, and then it's got a sort of a rust color in it and some off-white. And I think this looks masculine, and it also looks fallish to me, so I think this will work well. This mat is 3 7/8 in this direction and 5 1/8 this way. Once again, it's 3/16 smaller than the one beneath it. So I'll put these together, and then I'm going to add a couple of other things before I add my cut. And I'll do this with my ATG gun, and I'll be right back. I've finished with that step. Now the next item I'm going to add is another set of mats, another piece of white, and then another piece of this stripe, only this time I'm running the stripe up and down rather than across. Now this white mat is 3 3/4 this way and 4 3/4 this way. 3 3/4, 4 3/4. And the smaller mat is just 1/8 inch smaller. I'm just a very narrow mat on this one. And this one is 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. So I'll put these together. But before I put these down onto the card, I'm going to add 2 aqua brads. And I'm going to put them in these 2 corners and not in the other 2, and I'll show you why in a bit. They'll interfere with my sentiment if I put them in all 4 corners. So I'll go ahead and put these together. I'm going to stick these 2 down first. I'm going to poke holes for my brads, put those in, and then I'm going to put the whole piece on foam tape so at the back of the brads don't hinder the thing from sticking. So I'll put all that together, and then I'll come back and show you what I have so far. Alright, now I'm back with this card that's coming together oh so well. I love these colors. And they look both masculine. They do look masculine, and I love them. They wouldn't have to be masculine though. Now for the cut that I'm using, I've gone to the manual and gone to page 77 for Plantin School Book, and I'm going to use this award. Although I decided not to use this one here with the little cutouts in it. They didn't work well the way I was going to do them. So I've decided to use the shadow feature. And I've cut this particular piece 3 times. And I've cut it twice out of this blue and once out of the off-white. And I'm going to put them together in layers. So the smallest one is 2 1/2. This one in the middle is 2 3/4, and this is, excuse me, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, and I'm going to layer them all together with the white, the off-white in the middle here. And when I get them all stacked and glued together with my zig pen, then I'll be ready to put them onto the card. I've got one more thing to add to them, but I'll do that and I'll be right back. My little award medallion is finished. I put the 3 layers together. I did chalk the bottom layer with some aqua chalk. The cardstock had a white core, and at some places the white had shown through, so I wanted to ink those and not have any white edges. And then I layered those 3 together, and then as a finishing touch I punched a scallop circle. This is a 1 1/2 inch circle. This is a Fisker's punch, and I just punched a 1 1/2 inch circle scalloped with the same, out of the same paper. And now for the one last item that I'm going to add before I haven't stuck this down yet, but I will. The other thing I'm going to add is I have a Cloud 9 set of epoxy little stamps or clear stamps here, and this one says Happy Birthday, and they're all in black, and they're an epoxy clear little plate. And I have mounted this one on a piece of this blue, and I'm going to put it right here, and I think that just finishes it off really, really well, and it has turned out so nicely. I really like it. I decided to put foam tape on the back of this, so this is Scotch foam tape, and I'm all ready to stick this down. I want to move it up off the mat just slightly, and I think that, yes, tipped a little bit. That is really cute, and bringing it up off the card makes it so much, I don't know, prettier. It stands out more. And with the nameplate at the bottom, the little sentiment plate, I didn't really have room for the brads, and they're not necessary anyway. One of the really versatile things about this card too is that you could put the number, however old the person is, right here on this little part, just cut out of blue or out of the off-white, and it would be perfect. And I can't do that because I'm not sure who I'll give this to, but I may, when I'm ready to give it, put that number right in there. So it makes it really easy to use and would work for anyone. Bye-bye. Thanks so much.